Hi guys, I'm EVM and welcome to a rant. I've had enough of Nissan yet again. I mean, I don't know how many times this company can screw up. I've washed my hands of them, I've had enough, and this entire video is basically going to be me telling people why, if you want to buy a Nissan, whether it's petrol or electric, it doesn't matter, then expect the customer service to be, well, quite frankly, utter shit. Now, let me clarify exactly what I mean by this. Nissan have screwed up so many times, whether it's the dealer network or Nissan themselves, that I've just had enough. I'm not expecting anything from Nissan out of this video. All of the issues that I've had have eventually been resolved, including the one that's caused this video, the straw that broke the camel's back, as it were. So I'm not doing this to try and get something from Nissan or to get them to pay attention. I'm doing it because I will not have no more dealings with Nissan from now on. The car is not going back to Nissan. They're not going to touch it. I don't want anything to do with their entire dealer network, and that's unfair on some of the dealers because some of them are actually quite good. It's just basically going to be a rant to make me feel better. You know, it's been one of those weeks, so I thought, you know, have a drink, have a video. And ultimately, it's basically going to be a warning to everyone that this is what I've had over the past few years. And let me be very, very clear now. This isn't just a few things that I might mention in this video. There are dozens of things that I could sign. If I should have made a list, I guess, that I won't be mentioning here. Lots of missed calls, promised emails, never returned called or emails, lots of things where they've basically just screwed up in new and imaginative ways, and it's taken all sorts of crap to try and sort out each time. They've done it so many times now, I've had enough. There's only so many chances you could have as a company to mess up and put stuff right before it gets to the point where, you know what, you've just messed up so much. I've had enough now. I don't want to know. I understand things go wrong sometimes and customer service sometimes drops off. You know, you might get someone at a call centre with a bad day, and it's a one-off. But this isn't just a one-off. It's not even a few things. I reckon we're well into double figures on things that I could raise a significant complaint about individually. So I'm just going to mention a few of them on here, including what has just happened and what has ultimately made me snap, basically, and then I'll leave the rest up to you. I'll start with my favourite. Some of you will already know this. The time when I took my car in for a service, and then a guy at Nissan literally got out his wedding tackle in front of the dash cam, pissed in a bucket, and then washed my car with that bucket on camera. The CEO of Nissan UK himself rung me up to apologise on that one, and it's amazing what can happen when you've got a YouTube channel or some sort of social media presence, and a lot of people don't have that. This is something which you shouldn't need to get stuff sorted out. But yeah, believe me, it did actually happen. In fact, why don't I show you a brief snippet? Here it is now. I blurred out his gentleman sausage, because let's face it, no one wants to see that. And yes, that did actually happen. And they did eventually sort the problem out. It was done to my satisfaction. But as I said, this isn't about getting something from Nissan. This is about, there's just been so many things that have accumulated up to the point where that's it now, enough. So yes, P-Gate was one of them. That's probably my favourite. The other one, the Nissan Ambassador Scheme. There is a video in my channel about this from probably, I don't know, 18 months ago, a couple of years. It's been a while now. Very briefly put, you could watch that if you're really interested. But they invited me, as they did with many other Leaf owners, to an ambassador scheme. And the idea was, it was just a standard referral bonus, I suppose, where if you get someone into a Nissan Leaf, they'll give you £250. And I thought, well, they're inviting me to this, and I've literally got dozens of emails from people or comments saying, thanks to your videos, or at least in part, we have decided to get a Leaf. And back then, of course, I was called Nissan Leaf Man. It was very much more Leaf-centric. Yeah, that's good on a Friday. Now, this scheme, I thought, you know what, I could really clean up on this one, but no, I won't do. I'll keep in the spirit of the scheme, and I did one video that basically mentioned that if I've helped you get into a Leaf, if you think that I have, you know, would be worthy of referral, here's my referral link. Put it down, and yeah, brilliant. That'd be good. I could have done dozens of them, I reckon, if I'd have littered it throughout the video. But I thought, no, I'll just stick to one. In the end, I think it was 7 or maybe 8. I think people put it through the scheme, and it said it could take a few months. Obviously, you got to wait for them to actually get their car. So months passed, and it got to the stage where I'd heard nothing. So I sent emails that were all ignored. I made calls that were all ignored. Nissan UK on Twitter said, oh, don't worry about it, we will contact the department and get them to ring you back. All ignored, of course, never got a phone call back. So eventually I did a video that suddenly prompted a response, and then a month or 2 later I got the response that all 7 were rejected because they were sold under the employee friends and family discount scheme. I thought, well, that's a bit odd, because I know for a fact at least 5 of the 7 definitely don't know anyone at Nissan, and I'm pretty sure the other 2 didn't either. So how could this possibly be? Well, after a bit of digging and you know, a lot more ranting, I discovered that pretty much every Nissan Leaf that was sold at the time, and this is when the 24 and the 30 were on sale, was sold under the friends and family discount scheme to make the cars cheaper. That's how they were making them so cheap, the dealers. They were basically selling them all under that scheme. And when it's sold under that scheme, you can't use the referral. You know, you can only use one. So I can understand that. But the fact that every single Leaf, nearly, was sold under that scheme meant this referral ambassador, you know, bonus or whatever, was a complete and total joke that nobody could possibly ever benefit from. You've got a scheme that can't use a friends and family bonus, but all cars are being sold under the friends and family bonus. You invited me to this. So anyway, video later, rant later, they of course contacted me, sorted it out. Another half a dozen things happened in between, before and after that as well, which I won't bother you with. But the first time, and again I've mentioned this in the previous video, I had a warranty problem. I knew what it was. It's a common fault, and I rung them up and they booked it in on the Monday morning. Said, right, it's this part is faulty. That's the one that you need to replace. I know you can't take my word for it, but concentrate on that one first. This is a common problem. 2 days later, they rung me back saying, we're not sure what it is yet, but we've got the master Leaf technician on the case. Later on that day, well, at the end of that day, so this is after 3 days of having the car, they ring me back and say, we know what it is, it's this part. I know it's this part. I told you it was that part. How is it taking you 3 days to... Well, you get the point. They then ordered the part, it got sent to the wrong dealership, and they had the car until Saturday to replace a single sensor, which I think would have cost 30, 40 quid or something like that. So that's just another little screw up there. But to the one that has basically made me go, I've had enough, the one that has literally just happened. If you've got a car from Nissan that's coming up to the end of its warranty, this is something you'll want to know about. Now, I'm going back a couple of weeks. The car was due its service and its first MOT. So it's coming up to the end of the warranty period. I think it was about 2-ish weeks until the warranty ended. So we booked in for its service, its MOT, and there was a small problem as well, which I thought, well, it's under warranty, I'll get that sorted now, get it out of the way. So it got booked in, they took it for service, they took it for MOT, and they verified that it was indeed faulty and that part needed replacing. We'll ring you back once we've verified it with Nissan, and then we'll book it in to get the part replaced. Brilliant. I thought, you know, no problems at all there. We're actually getting good service. About a week later, I've not heard anything. And they don't work weekends, so obviously there's a couple of days lost every time we trip over to a weekend. So I thought I'd better chase them up. My wife was the one that was at home, so she rung them, and they said, oh, right, yes, I've got your form here. I was just about to ring you, funnily enough. Yeah, of course you were, love. Yeah, just total coincidence. In reality, they'd basically forgotten that. They'd done something wrong, and they'd put it in a drawer and forgotten about it. And she said, all right, well, we're going on holiday next week. This is my wife now. So can we book it in after that? And she went, oh, no, you can't do that. Your warranty expires in, I think it was 8 or 9 days. You have to get it fixed within the warranty period. She went, oh, that seems a bit odd. Tell you what, I'll leave it and pass it on to my husband. Waited until I got home. So I get home at about, 5 o'clock and ring the dealership up, which opens until, I think, 5:30 or 6. It rung for 2.5 minutes and then just cuts you off. Rung for 2.5 minutes and then cuts you off. And it happened 5 times. In the end, I got through to someone on the reception desk and said, can you put me through to service? They are busy, they're short-staffed, can I get them to ring you back? What time do you shut? 5:30. Will they definitely ring me back? Because there's a bit of a time constraint on this one. It's Friday, we haven't got long, I don't want to miss the weekend. Yeah, no problems, I'll get them to ring you back. Did they ring me back? Of course not. So then I thought, well, we're really running short on time here. Tomorrow we'll have 8 days left, and then obviously the service department doesn't open Saturday, Sundays. So it will be Monday, we'll have, 6 days left or whatever it was. So I actually physically went into the dealer, which is 12 miles each way, to just try and get this sorted out. And I'm just stood there like an idiot for a good 5 minutes at the reception desk, thinking, why is nobody serving me? Eventually, a manager of sorts, I'm not sure what, I think service or sales manager, excuse me, came out and said, yes, how can I help you? Explained the situation, how I wasn't exactly a happy chappy, and he said, don't worry, we'll get this sorted out. And then I asked him about this Nissan thing, they have to get it repaired under warranty. I said, it's been verified already. Why do we have to get it repaired in the next 6 or 7 days? And he went, no, that is true. It's a hard and fast black and white rule by Nissan that it has to be repaired under the 3-year warranty period. Otherwise, it doesn't get repaired under warranty. You'll have to reapply for it if it's out of 3 years, and they might do it under goodwill or 50-50 or whatever it may turn out to be. Only if the part isn't available, and that's what you're waiting on, will they go past that 3-year period. I thought, well, hang on a minute, is that even legal? I mean, it's verified faulty. Why does it have to be repaired under warranty when it's not really my fault that it can't be done? And he went, oh yes, I know what you mean. It's not how we like to work as a dealer, but it's a rule of Nissan. I mean, I don't know any other manufacturer that does this. So we look at the diary, and we've basically got, because we're driving down south, we were on holiday but we're still in the UK, we had 1 day left, which was the very last day of warranty, which meant we had to come back early from our holiday, as in at night rather than the next morning, just so the car could go in. So we had to change our plans because of this ridiculous, and as I said before, I'm not even sure if it's a legal rule, that it has to be repaired under warranty. And I said, well, let me give you a theoretical problem now. I said, what would happen if I had a warranty problem? My car stopped working and there's only a couple of days left under the warranty. And I rung you up and you said, oh, well, I'm afraid we can't fit you in the next couple of days because we're full. What would happen then? And they said to me that the official rule is you would have to find a Nissan dealer that can fit you in. Can you imagine that? Oh, well, can you fit me in the next 2 days before my warranty expires? You can't? Oh, sorry. How about you? Can you fit me in? A week? No. How about you? Oh, don't worry, love, I managed to find a dealer 200 miles away that can fit us in tomorrow. I mean, it's like they're living on cloud cuckoo land. I'd love to know if there's any legal experts out there in consumer law. If the problem has been verified in the warranty period, can they actually specify that it has to be fixed in that 3-year period? And even if it is a legal thing, they're not doing anything legally wrong. From the customer point of view, it's ridiculous. If we can't fit you in before your warranty ends and you have a problem, you have to find a dealer that can? I mean, for God's sake. And said, you know what, for me, Nissan have been shocking this past few years, and I won't be buying another Nissan ever again. And this is what the manager of a Nissan dealer said. He said, yep, I know exactly what you mean. It goes against some of our, like our personal ethos, as in, they're a franchise, but we have to stick to their rules. Some Nissan dealers are getting fed up of it. Nissan Europe, and this is my favourite quote from someone from Nissan, Nissan Europe are putting profit above customer service. They have done for a few years now, and there's a lot of people, including people that work at Nissan, who won't buy another Nissan. That is coming from somebody who works for them. As I said earlier, I could go on for another hour or two listing all the little things, the big things that I haven't mentioned already that they've done. I love the 24 and 30 kilowatt Leaf, and I would recommend that to anybody. Obviously used now, but in terms of Nissan themselves, I've had enough. No more. It's a shame, really, that it gets to the point where it doesn't matter how good or bad a car is. The company is so bad, it's stopping you buying something. In the last few years, have you had any of these sort of issues with Nissan? Because I'm convinced something happened a few years ago where they made wholesale changes. Maybe it's when they were in the financial crap and they thought, we're going to have to change things, stop doing stuff just to become profitable. And it's at the expense of customer service. So, I'd love to read a few or a few dozen or more comments on how good or bad, feel free to post both up, Nissan have been for you. So that's pretty much it. As I said, if you're watching this, I'm not particularly wanting you to contact me, to offer me anything, to even apologise. You've done that so many times, it's falling on deaf ears. It's meaningless. There's no point in saying, we're really sorry, and we'll fix the problem for you, if you keep creating the problems in the first place. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I was going to put up a review of a car today, but I thought, you know what, sod it. I've had enough of this. It's been one of those weeks where I'm glad to get home, relax. The missus has gone to work. Alice is playing outside with friends. I'm just going to have a nice vent on YouTube, get it off my chest, and try and basically tell everyone to avoid Nissan. So yeah, that's it pretty much. So as I said before, if you've got any fun and game stories about Nissan that's happened in the past few years, stick them in the comments below, and we'll turn it into a sort of a customer service page. So if Nissan do end up reading it or watching this video, have a read at the comments below, because I'm sure there are other things there. So yeah, rant over, guys. Normal service will be resumed. Well, when I say normal, non-ranty service will be resumed next week. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Have a beer on me. I'll see you soon. Actually, when I say have a beer on me, I didn't actually mean that I'm going to get you one. Just to clarify. Bye.